Good morning to everybody, and thank you very much, Miles. I echo Miles's comments of thanks to our sponsors, Citadel Securities, DLA Piper, and Robin Hood. While we are a vast network, we are here today to share a singular focus, which is driving economic growth and boosting UK competitiveness. Of course, the growth imperative is not unique to the UK, but it is the centrepiece of this government's ambition for our country. And I'm pleased to see financial and related professional services recognised as an essential partner in realising the ambition across all our regions and nations. I'm sure time flies if you're sitting to the Speaker's right in the House of Commons, and our government is close to completing 20% of their parliamentary term. Or put another way, they have just over 2 years to deliver meaningful change if it is to have an economic impact before the next election. So delivering growth is not only an economic imperative, it's also a political necessity. The task, of course, is not easy, but the prize is worth pursuing with urgency and intensity. I last addressed this conference 2 years ago and argued through a cricket metaphor that we needed to get growing, the UK needed to get the run rate up by adopting more of a baseball approach, playing on the front foot when it comes to innovation. And I'm delighted with the cricket result earlier this week, underpinning the value of this metaphor. I do stand by that sentiment, but fear that a lack of confidence to invest, a limited pool of readily investable opportunities, the increasing cost and complexity of doing business, and disincentives to taking managed risk could easily see us becoming a mere incubator of bright ideas, rather than having a really positive impact on the overall potential for national growth. And of course, the biggest downside of all is the risk of doing nothing. Expanding on my cricket metaphor, it's clear that we can't always choose the condition of the pitch on which we play, but we can play to our strengths and adapt our tactics. Growth is a long game, but there's much more we can do now as a team to improve our odds of success into the future. In the past 2 years, the UK has grown more self-confident internationally. We're looking more stable, predictable, and investable than we have done for some time. And while there's more to be done, we're proving to be a constructive partner in international policy. Our relations with Europe are improving. We've found points of agreement on trade and defence, with scope for even greater cooperation. At TheCityUK, we continue to press for progress on financial and related professional services. Our special relationship with the United States remains strong, and arguably the UK has navigated the choppy US waters with greater success than many other countries. And we can now boast of a comprehensive free trade agreement with India, which promises much as that market grows to become the third largest economy in the world by 2028. While financial services typically only have a back seat in trade deals, we continue to press for gains using the range of tools in our trade policy kit. As we're all observing seemingly every day, the events of 2025 are transforming the old order geopolitically. But while change brings headwinds, it also, of course, brings opportunity. The UK has thrived in a liberalised global marketplace, which has been underpinned by and contributed to our role as a truly international financial centre. In a less liberal, less global, and less multilateral world, we can continue to thrive if we are stable, predictable, economically strong, and remain open to attracting the best and brightest from all over the world. Play our hand well, and there's potential to strike tailored deals on specific areas with key and new markets, rather than trying to align on everything, which seems to be an increasingly forlorn hope. While our recent gains on the international stage are important, a strong domestic position is the true ace card to play. And for that, we must create a winning strategy for growth. As outlined this week in the government's ambitious modern industrial strategy, financial and related professional services are fundamental to the mission to drive growth across the UK. Be that directly through our contribution to the economy or indirectly as a funder and enabler for every other sector in the strategy. The trade strategy out today should complement this, and it's positive to see a strong focus on recognising the UK as a services powerhouse, not least given that we are the world's largest financial services exporter. And we look forward to the unveiling next month of the Chancellor's Financial Services Growth and Competitiveness Strategy, which we hope will further unleash this industry's potential to foster growth. Critical success factors for our economic growth and competitiveness will be a more simple, predictable, and attractive approach to tax and international investment. Greater regulatory and legal certainty, more digitalised markets, and a continued commitment to stimulating retail investment. As an industry, we're not just open for business, we're here for people at every stage of their lives, whether they're saving for the future, buying a home, or looking to manage risk. From our rich expertise to our deep capital markets, we bring the world in. The UK is the world's largest financial services net exporter, and along with related professional services, our industry generated a trade surplus of over £114 billion in 2023. We pay our way. We provided over £110 billion of tax in 2023, nearly enough to pay for HS2, as well as contributing around 1 in every 12 pounds of economic output in the country last year. And we're a major employer, providing quality jobs to nearly 2.5 million people and professionals right across the country, 2/3 of whom are based outside London across every region and nation. Now, there's lots to be proud of, but also, of course, much more to do if we're truly to empower the star player of our economy and create that confident, winning strategy of growth across the UK. I'd like to suggest 4 areas for our collective attention. First, if we're to inspire the confidence to invest here and really create a growth mindset, we need to regulate our way towards a growth mindset, and I know we'll hear more from Nikhil on that later this morning. It's our government and regulators that set the appetite for risk, and we must combat the culture of safetyism, which has become embedded since the financial crisis of 2008-2009. Rules are essential, but many have become restraints, increasing the cost and complexity of doing business in the United Kingdom. Consumer protection must be squared with supporting competition. To keep innovation at home, we must create the conditions for safe failure. What we're seeing from government and the regulators is promising, from the overhaul of the UK's capital markets rules to the Financial Conduct Authority's new listing rules, as well as their 5-year strategy, which acknowledges the need to rebalance risk and regulation to meet future needs. It is inevitable that with more risk-taking, there will be more risks which crystallise. Tolerating this additional failure will be a key part of shifting the mindset, and where we can, our industry should lean into this. Secondly, a more open mindset towards risk-taking must be matched by more opportunities to invest in risk assets. When it comes to infrastructure, we know the challenge isn't the availability of capital, it's having the opportunities across the UK to which to allocate capital at pace. Opportunities that improve connectivity and that are aligned with the sustainable and tech-led future we all want to see flourish. To help bridge the investment gap, TheCityUK has proposed a way to ease the age-old challenge. It involves uniting our industry's expertise and experts and governments with leaders from around and across the regions to develop the term sheet-ready prospectuses needed to secure project funding and to gain support. And this will all, of course, be focused on supporting the 8 priority sectors of the industrial strategy and growth in the regions and nations. And I'm delighted to see that the government has adopted this proposal with a decision to create a Strategic Investment Opportunities Unit within the Office of Investment. At the City UK, we like to think of this as a national investment broker. This is not without its challenges, and it's a practical solution, we think, which will direct the private capital that is needed towards projects that serve our communities. Thirdly, to reap the long-term benefits of investment, we must be able to continue to attract, retain, and reskill the very best talent. Talent armed with the skills of tomorrow. Our industry thrives on the quality of its people from across the UK and overseas. They are literally our lifeblood and should be placed at the forefront of any shared strategies for the future. Now, we're not without our rivals, as we all know. To outcompete markets such as Hong Kong, Singapore, and Paris for the best and brightest, we will need to remain agile. Our colleagues at the Financial Services Skills Commission are making great strides in building skills here in the UK, and the focus on skills and talent, in particular AI skills, improving business and mobility, and visa reforms, was welcome in the industrial strategy. Ultimately, we want to see a world-class visa scheme that attracts talent from across the world effortlessly. And the future workforce equipped with the necessary skills and qualifications to keep us world-class, not least to keep pace with digitalization. Fourthly and finally, a sustained focus on playing our part in the transition to net zero. Collectively, we have a critical enabling role to invest the capital at scale required to finance the transition, support greater climate resilience, and drive nature-positive green growth. Meeting the government's ambitions for this agenda by 2050 will require deeper cooperation across government departments and with our industry, along with a long-term policy approach and clear sector-specific strategies. This is a job that requires coordination and partnership. It cannot be done alone. So with a clear strategy in place, together we can regulate, invest, and attract our way to generating growth across the UK. This is, of course, a long-term agenda, but there are several quick gains to be had along the way. Ultimately, confidence builds from knowing that the vision and the means to make it a reality are in place. Our financial and related professional services industry is a powerful motor for our economy, and further enabled, it can propel growth across the whole of the UK. But there is an urgent need for bold action to fully power up that engine. This is my last speech in my role as chair of the City UK Leadership Council, and before I step down at the end of this month and hand over to my very capable successor, Dame Anne Richards. And I just want to say it's been a real privilege and pleasure to have been part of the work of Miles and his team championing and promoting our industry and the meaningful outcomes they are achieving. And I hope you all agree that we've made significant progress in repositioning our industry in the minds of government and policymakers in recent years, having for much of the early part of this century been put on the naughty step post the financial crisis. And I look forward to sitting where you are in the years to come and reflecting on the further progress we will make together. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening.